Let's start in half butterfly. So we're going to fold in. I'm going to be your mirror, so fold in your right leg. Stretch your left leg out. And you want about 90 degrees. And a good thing to check is that you can sit upright. So if you're kind of behind yourself, you can roll the back of your mat up and sit on that. So you tilt your pelvis, and it adds a little length to your hamstrings. Awesome. Now, do a little ska dance. Lift those elbows. Imagine the music. And twist your belly button over your beautiful left leg. Hello, leg. And then bow down. Come into a curved forward bend here. And you can wiggle around, you can pull a little bit, twist a little bit, fiddle. And then we're going to come into the yin version of the pose. So you want to relax into the shape you've found. So in these first couple postures, the yin poses, first we find the right shape for our body. And then we soften and become still on purpose. And then we stay. Take a full inhale and just sigh it out through your mouth. Maybe you notice your body responding. So in the first couple of poses, instead of trying to push and force and resist and contract, when we meet resistance, we want to soften into it. To use our sweetness instead of our power. Let your elbows be heavy. And just take a couple moments and just notice how you woke up this morning or how your day's been so far. Do you remember your dreams? Or maybe you woke up with a feeling. Or maybe you notice that you have your own kind of little weather system everywhere you go. So even on some sunny days, you might be a little cloudy. And then take some time to notice how your thinking has been. Observing how you've been thinking more than what you've been thinking. Maybe relax your toes. Let your tongue get fatter, your elbows get heavier. And then inhale, roll up. Put your right hand behind your sacrum. Stretch your left arm up and let it lift you and stretch the whole left side of your body. You might even do another and then bring your hips back down and switch your legs. And elbows up. You look more like you're jogging than a ska dance. You like the jogging. But let it twist you, so you're twisting your belly button over your extended, beautiful right leg. And then bow forward and soften over your right leg. So we have so much practice with pushing and pulling and trying to make ourselves fit into boxes that we don't fit into. And here you want to actually just really soften into yourself. So let your elbows hang. Let your chin be heavy, your forehead be heavy. And then just take a couple moments to observe your feelings. Come on in. There's yoga mats in the back. Was the door locked again? Or is it open? Great. Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. Then take a couple moments and notice not your feelings, but the sensations in your body, your energy. Yeah, one of you guys can sneak next to Lena there, I think. After noticing the energy in your body, take a couple moments and just feel your physical body. We're nearly out of this pose, so then you can just jump right in. And with your next inhale, roll up. Put your left hand behind you. Maybe wave to newcomers. Lift up. Good morning. It's like a heavenly stretch all along the right side of your body. And then with your exhale, bring your hips back down and stretch your legs, both of them straight out in front of you, and kind of fluff your buttocks behind you. Yes, I said it. Again, check to see if you're sitting upright. And we're doing a yin pose, so you can really take your legs slightly apart, and you even can like shake them to make sure they're as soft and relaxed as possible. Then start by reaching your chest up towards the sky, and then bring your chin to your chest and start to roll down. And just as soon as your body starts to resist, instead of pushing and pulling and wishing you were somewhere else, see if you can make yourself really get soft and comfortable in that exact spot. And only let gravity pull you further. Take another full inhale, and with your exhale, just sigh out. And the last little check-in, take a notice of how your body is. So we kind of got that gray zone in between because I said sensation. When we check in the energy of our body, it's like how our whole being is animated. And sensation is part of that. But sensation also can be really specifically pain in a certain area, or if you have a healing back. And just notice kind of where your sensitivity is in your body. And then maybe try and notice also where your power and your strength is in your body this morning, this day. So this yin part of our practice, for a lot of us, isn't what we're usually asked to do. We're usually asked to be a little bit more pushy. You know, we have such weird measurements of measuring our productivity or output as if we were some sort of machine. But we want to start to feel and recognize our inherent value that isn't tied up to some small idea of capitalism and productivity and wah, wah. That our value lies deeper than that. Or maybe the picture is bigger than that, more eternal than that. And then inhale, roll up. We're going to do a little yang lion. So you bring your hands back behind you, feet on the ground, knees bent. And you're going to lift your hips up to the sky. And if it's okay for your neck, drop your head back. Stick out your tongue, look at your third eye, and with a whisper, roar like a lion. Try it again. Lift your hips a little higher, push the ground away, and look at your third eye too. One more time. And then come back down. Gracefully wipe off your beautiful chin. And let's rock up into toes pose. And already prepare yourself and kind of come a little bit more forward on your mat. So this is very different for a lot of people. Some people can't even tuck their toes under without experiencing sharp pain. That's not cool. But being uncomfortable or annoyed or bored, great, go with it. We're going to sound 3 ohms here. So sometimes the ohms sound like beautiful, like we have a yoga class of angels. But I want to encourage you to, instead of aiming for the beauty, aim for the unique sound that we humans can produce right here, right now in this room. So bring your hands together at heart center. Feel that you're rooting up towards the sky, through each one of your hairs. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. And one more silent one. See if you can hear the silent Om. Beautiful. Then release your hands, open your eyes, bring your hands in front of you, and lovingly slap out your feet. And then rock back and stretch the front of your ankles, stretch your toes. And then rock again to toes pose. Yes. Mm-hmm. And now grab opposite elbows over the top of your head. And then feel this upward striving, this lifting up. You're stretching the space in between your ribs, from your hips to your ribs. Feel the reach. And notice you naturally have the rooting down, so you can feel the pressure on your toes still. And then see, you might have to lean back a little bit as a counter pose, but see if you can lift up your knees. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Keep the upward emphasis in your upper body. And then let that upward motion lift you just like half a nothing. It's just lift off your heels. Notice if your mouth is doing weird things. It could smile. And then see if you can go again, that same little bit. Oh, yeah. And then slowly come all the way up, lift up, and then relax your feet down and stretch your arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, bow down, let your knees bend, let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel like you're breathing into the back of your lungs. And then step back to plank. So get really active here, trying to stretch your body long. Heels go back, chest goes forward, and you even lift up right in between your shoulder blades. Yes, power. Now inch forward to your tippy toes, and passing through chaturanga, come all the way down to the ground. Slowly. Flip your toes under, so your toenails are touching the mat. And then with your inhale, low cobra. So just root your feet and lift your chest. And then just as a check, see if you can lift up your hands without your upper body falling back down. Oh, that's nice. You can do a mini ska snake dance if you want. And then exhale, release down to the mat again. Now, try pulling your hands back like a half a hand's length, like just a bit, unless your name's Isabel. And then squeeze your elbows together again and stretch your legs long and lift up your legs. Beautiful. Push with the balls of your big toes. Reach long, and now with your next inhale, you're going to bring your legs down to the ground and straighten your arms and float into upward facing dog. So it's really your toes come down to the ground. Beautiful, Layla, sorry. Let's try it again. Inhale, come forward to plank. We'll just start from there because that's a little character forming. Shift forward, that secret move, and slowly lower down, touching chaturanga perhaps. And then release and stretch your feet out. Now just like take your hands a little bit back. So your thumbs are below your nipples. It's more like your lowest rib. Zzz. Now elbows squeeze together, lift up your legs. And your feet are going to come down and the rest of your body's going to lift up as you inhale. So bring your legs down and stretch your arms up. Your chest is in front of your shoulders. Your thighs are floating. You can see now, wiggle your hips a little. Which kind of dance is this? It's like a fluffy caterpillar dance, like look at my fluff. All right, take another full inhale, let your heart lift, toenails on the ground, so the tops of your feet. Yes. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and sigh it out. And now just take a moment. Feel which posture is appropriate for your back bend today. The upward facing dog, that last one we did, or the low cobra, which is a little bit more gentle on your back. Both of them will help you have a very full practice in your vinyasa. So you can't lose. But you want to make the choice from your back. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way, look forward, and hop your feet noiselessly in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet, rise up tall, lift up high, reach your fingernails up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Trying to breathe through your nose, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bow down, let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift, your hands connected to your shins or the floor. Either jump to chaturanga or step to plank, secret move, and then lower halfway down chaturanga, elbows and shoulders the same height. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just still for a moment and see if you can hear your neighbors breathing. If you're tight in your hamstrings, maybe try bending your knees a little bit. And then pull your hips up and back so that the length goes into your spine. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and noiselessly jump your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet. Stretch up taller than before. Lift up high. And exhale, samastiti. Titi. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, step back to plank this time. Shift to your tippy toes and lower halfway down, elbows and shoulders the same height. Squeeze your elbows in. You're gazing a little bit in front of your fingers. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel your breath through your nose starting to heat your body. See if you can sound like the ocean. Take another full inhale, pull your hips up and back. Empty your breath all the way, look forward, lift up your heels, bend your knees, and jump your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet, rise up tall, lift up high. And then exhale, samastiti. Now bend low, touch the ground. Keep your hips exactly where they are and just lift up your upper body. Reach through your fingertips. So try to reach your elbows long. Now find the weight in your heels. Take another full inhale. And exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga or the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And with your exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, knee to your right elbow. One more time. Inhale, stretch your leg long. And this time, bring your knee to your chest and step your right foot next to your right thumb. Lift up, crescent lunge. One breath, looking upward. Exhale, all the way down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, tap your left knee to your left elbow. Weight comes to your hands. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, tap. Inhale, stretch long. This time, just bring your knee to your chest. Deliver your left foot to your left thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then close your eyes for a moment and feel the weight in both your hands and your feet, evenly distributed. If you have more weight in your feet, great. I meant to say if you have more weight in your arms, then bend your knees. That's usually what happens. We don't usually end up with too much weight in the feet. So you bend your knees a little bit and you pull your hips up and back. If your heels are on the ground in downward facing dog, you might want to play with having a bigger dog so that your feet and your hands are further away from one another. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, one breath, Utkatasana. And then exhale, samastiti, stand up. Inhale, Utkatasana. And let's just make a couple circles with our knees. Oh yeah, and go the other way so you don't get too dizzy. Beautiful. What are your arms doing? You can still stretch them very long. Now stretch your fingers out. Weight back to your heels. Take another full inhale as your heart lifts up, your gaze lifts up, and then exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga or the ground. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky, and with your exhale, tap your left elbow. Same thing. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, tap. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Bring your knee to your chest. Rise up, crescent lunge. And then with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale up to crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, tap your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, tap it again. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest, place your foot, rise up, crescent lunge. Open arm twist to your left. Inhale up to crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or the other one. Exhale, down dog. And just check in. Notice how, if you're breathing through your nose, maybe notice how you're engaging your effort and your softness. Take another fueling inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale, Samastitihi. Now inhale, Utkatasana. And with your exhale, take your arms back behind you and interlace your fingers, reaching your knuckles down to the ground. Lift your chest up. And with your next exhale, bow forward, knuckles coming towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shin or your toes. And then jump back to chaturanga or step to plank and lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky, and exhale, tap your left elbow. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, tap your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long, and exhale, step forward, rise up, crescent lunge. Open arm twist to your right. Inhale, left to center. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale, feel your breath being the rhythm. Downward facing dog with your next exhale. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, tap your right elbow. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, step your foot all the way forward. Rise up, crescent lunge, looking upward. Exhale, open arm twist to the side. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, chaturanga. So you should be starting to feel the fire. Inhale up. Exhale down. So we want to feel that the dynamic rhythm and movement causes your heat to rise. Breathing through your nose also heats up kind of the core, the middle part of your body. Feel your attention. Where is it? Maybe feel that you're wrapping your shoulder blades down towards your ribs. Nice, Georgia. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and walk or hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Chest reaches forward. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees. Drop your hips. Inhale. Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, Utkatasana. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. And let's breathe here. Breathe here. So reach for your fingertips. You want to feel in nearly all the poses this emphasis going out to each horizon, this expansion from horizon to horizon, but also this perpendicular. So you want to feel what's dropping and what's lifting. So let your butt drop and your chest lift. Maybe lifting the corners of your mouth for a radical, joyful practice. Now let your hips sink down. And inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, open arm twist to your left, bravely staying low with your hips. So maybe pull with your left hand a little bit to lift your chest. Maybe nudge your right knee back so your hips stay squared. Let your booty be heavy. And then find the weight in your heels. And then inhale up to center, Utkatasana. Exhale, bow down. Let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga or the ground. Now inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, touch your left elbow with your right knee and try a push-up. It's really humbling. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Now you should feel like a master. Yes, do the push-up. Oh, yeah. Inhale, stretch your leg long. And exhale, step your foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And let's take some breaths here. So we want to check in kind of on our stability from the ground up. So you want to feel that your right knee is over your ankle, not in front of it, but you're reaching forward with your right thigh as your left heel pushes up and back. You want to imagine your left hamstring pulling nothing, your left thigh pulling towards your hamstring. It's like you're hugging the bone of your back leg. Reach through your fingertips like you imagine you have sparkling fingertips. Yeah, Jonas, go for it, yes. Magical powers, they come out of you everywhere. Now, take a full inhale and exhale, open arm twist to your right. Again, feel this stretching. You reach your hands in opposite directions and you find more space around your heart. Feel your legs working just as strong as they did for crescent lunge. Notice if you can make peace with a challenging moment in your practice. Then inhale up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Hoya! Yeah, your right thigh is probably like getting really loud and taking on a personality of their own. Straighten your left leg. And I promise there's this weird thing. You can keep your arms up. I've never seen someone lose their arms yet. But there's this weird thing. On the other side of what you think you can't do, there's actually a little bit more. And it's just really, it sounds nutty until you experience it. So reach through your middle fingers like they're done with each other. They want to go as far away from each other as possible. Now, keeping your lower body steadfast, inhale, reverse your warrior. Imagine you're lifting your ribs up out of your waist. Beautiful. Stretch your arm long, palm facing back behind you. Feel the lift up out of your waist. Keep lunging bravely with your right knee. Nice, Lena. See if you can find a little bit more space between your ribs and your hips. Oh, hello. Take another full inhale and then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, vinyasa. So upward facing dog or low cobra. Lots of heart. You want to feel this. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, take your left knee to your right elbow. Enjoy that really humbling push-up. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Enjoy another push-up. You should feel stronger there. Ish. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your foot all the way to your thumb deliberately. And then rise up, crescent lunge. So feel the lunge of your left knee coming forward and your right foot pushing back into thin air. Try to breathe through your nose so the body can use your energy better. Now pretend like you're trying to really stretch your fantastic nails up to the ceiling. Yoga does make your hair and nails grow better. Oh. Find the meditation to meet the resistance. Take another full inhale and exhale. Open arm twist to your left. Reach through your fingertips, palms facing the wall. Let your shoulders soften while your chest is lifting. Push back with your right heel. Notice when we're moving too much, you wanted to move less. Now inhale up to center, exhale, open up, warrior two. So just for a moment, for your alignment, face forward so you can feel if your head's over your heart, over your hips. So the intermediate correction would be to really open up your right hip and your right ribs. And then spin your gaze over your middle finger on your left hand. Let your shoulders sink. Oh, beautiful. So this is a really unique pose. We're being open and strong. We're taught often that those don't really go together, but I'm here to teach you differently. Who's in charge? I know you want to say Charles. It's not. It's you. Now inhale, reverse your warrior. You're nearly there. So we want to practice meeting our resistance and conflicts with love, with warmth, with kindness. If we can do it in ourselves, maybe we can do it with each other. Breathe into it. Take another inhale, and with your exhale, sweet chaturanga, never felt so good. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Lift up your toes and slip your hands all the way underneath for Padangusthasana. Inhale, halfway lift, most likely bending your knees a little extra, and then exhale, bow forward. Weight coming towards your wrists. So you might bend your knees a little bit more, and you can really slide so your toes are touching your wrist. Awesome. If it's too hard, take your feet a little wider apart. They should be at least hip distance, yeah. Let your head hang. Notice that you actually have to have a little truss to hang your head here. So roll your weight towards your wrists. All right, now step off your hands and just push down and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Stretch your arms up. And with your exhale, Samastitihi. It's just to stretch your whole body. Okay, you're going to stretch your left arm up to the sky. And you're going to bring your right elbow into your waist. Now, we're going to do a variation this morning. So the preparation looks like it's the same to what we're used to, but we're going to twist open our arm, and then we're going to turn our palm so it's pushing down, and we're going to bring our palm to the bottom of our foot. Notice that you could kind of like do the claw thing and grab your foot. I don't want you to grab your foot. Orient yourself back forward again. And then with your inhale, you're going to start to push your foot into your hand. It often feels like you might want to grab your foot and pull your foot, but lift your gaze and see if you can keep pushing your foot. Push with the ball of your big toe more. Notice if you're breathing. We want to be able to do things while we're alive. Look up. Yes, Stefo. She's like, I never should have worn that shirt. All right, and inhale, lift up. Do a little whoop. And then other side. So stretch your right arm up. Now, okay, there's an obedience. I'm lifting in my arm because you told me to, yeah? And then there's a stretch, like where your whole posture is reaching. Beautiful. One of them should feel better. And then bring your left elbow into your waist. Let your arm open up. Turn your palm, and it's like you're going to give yourself a middle five. It's not low, it's not high. And then keep your eyes lifted. So different teachers teach differently. That's obvious. But I teach that if you're looking down, that's where you're going to go. Our eyes lead us. So look out towards the horizon and lift your foot into your hand. I know how to cheat in this pose, so I can tell if you're doing it. I mean, I'm just, we know this about ourselves. Keep your right arm lifting up. Maybe be courageous, a hint of a smile. This is dancer pose variation. And then inhale, lift up. Wow, nice, strong work. Little like reset shake. Yeah. And we're going to do the traditional version. So, left arm up, right elbow into your waist. Sweep your hand back, pick up the inside of your foot. And first, orient yourself back forwards. So your knees are squeezing together, your hips are pointing straight forward, you lift up through your left arm, your eyes are bright and sparkling, and then kick your foot into your hand, pull with your hand, lift up into dancer. Happy, joyful dancer pose. I love the future I'm creating pose. I'm essential to this equation. Lena, lift your eyes, love. Yeah! And then inhale, lift up, other side. Lift your right arm, left elbow into your waist. Feel yourself be tall and upright. Sweep your hand back, pick up the inside of your foot. So if you did some weird twisty thing, you can really pick up the inside of your foot by opening your shoulder more. Now, inhale, get tall, making sure you're not giving yourself a shoulder lock. You will feel if you are. And then exhale, come into the pose. So kick your foot into your hand. Keep lifting with your chest. So this is a back bend. Breathe into it. So you can pull your foot and push your foot into your hand, and you should feel that your ribs can kind of, your whole upper body can come forward. Notice if you feel like you have a lock in your shoulder. Lift up a little bit. Other way. And then inhale, come up. And then let's do a reset wiggle. So this time, thanks, Jonas, stretch your arms up like, ooh, yeah, yeah. And then just shake them all around. Come to the top of your mat, why not? Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or flow. Exhale, I love chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, tap your right elbow. You can do a running person if you want. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb and spin your left heel down to the ground. Rise up, warrior one. First warrior one of the day. Hips are closing, pointing forward. Beautiful. Then exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then with your exhale, straighten your right leg and come into Trikonasana pose, triangle pose. Arms reaching apart. The wider your stance in triangle, the more space you will have. It should be easier. Now bring your chin to your chest first and then turn your gaze up to the sky. Yeah. Oh, hello. See if you can contract from your left armpit to your left hip. And so thereby dropping and lengthening your right rib cage. I know, it's a brain teaser. And then inhale, lift up, and spin your right toes in. Take your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles down towards the ground. Lift up your chest and bow forward. If the mat's in the way, just take a smaller stance. Spin your toes in so they're more in than your heels. Yeah. Spin your toes a little bit more in. Yes. So you not your whole foot, the whole like you're pigeon-toed. Nice. And then release your grip. Walk your hands to your right foot. Exhale, I love chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. With your exhale, take your left knee to your left elbow. Enjoy a running person or not. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your left foot all the way to your left thumb. Warrior one. It's a very active, hard pose. Hips squaring forward. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then with your exhale, extend your left leg and come into Trikonasana. So triangle pose. There's lots of triangles in this pose. So feel you're tucking your left buttocks towards your right heel, and this allows you to pull your shoulders back, right, Alva? Yeah, baby. Reach through your fingertips, pulling your shoulders away from your neck, And then again, the same thing. Feel a small contraction actually between your right armpit and your right hip, and notice that you can lengthen from your left hip to your left armpit. And then inhale, lift up. Spin your toes in again. And this time bow forward, and you're going to walk your hands back behind you with your palms pushing down and your fingers turning back. So your toes are pointing in one way and your fingers in the other way. Nice. And again, if the mat gets in the way, just move it. Move your feet closer together. You can bend your knees a little bit if you need to, or take your feet wider apart, Jonas, if they go wider. And then staying low, walk your hands back forward and then walk them to the front of your mat for chaturanga hands. Let your right heel lift up and step back to plank. Now be active in your plank, lifting up between your shoulder blades. Feel your abdominals engaged. Feel your heels pushing back. And if you're shaking, that's awesome. You know something's definitely going on. Maybe a hint of a smile, and see how slowly you can come to chaturanga. You're going, yo, B, you should have asked at the ground. Okay, and then come all the way down to the ground. And then we're going to come up. We're going to come into first, just relax your head on the ground for a moment. Let your arms relax back behind you. Maybe wiggle your hips a little bit. Feel like you're a little bit worked, perhaps. A little bit. And we're going to have the same discipline on the floor here. So I want you to cactus your arms. And then squeeze your legs together and bend your knees. Breathing through your nose, which I know is annoying to hear when you're out of breath, but that's the discipline, yeah? And inhale, lift up your chest and your arms, your head, your arms. And then pull your shoulders back, pull your elbows back, lift your chest a little bit more, and now see if you can lift up your knees, bringing your feet towards your butt. You guys are amazing. A hint of a smile. This is like you would totally do this pose if you were jumping out of a plane. How cool is that? And then slowly relax down to the ground. Let your legs stretch back and take your gaze the other way. Your arms actually recover faster if you just let them be by your side, unbent. Oh yeah, you can totally wiggle your bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, cactus your arms again. We're totally verbing that. Now, squeeze your legs together, bend your knees. Now, inhale, lift up to where you were. Oh, yeah. And then stretch your arms out, palms facing behind you, reach back, and don't grab your ankles, but reach for them. And pull your feet towards your butt. You're not grabbing anything, but you can reach there. That's perfect. Squeeze your knees together. Lift up a little higher. Oh, yeah. Ooh, and release. Look the other way. All right, this next version should be so satisfying. All right, cactus your arms. Bend your knees. Imagine the back body is filled with helium or something. Try something out in your imagination. Like, ooh, you're a flutterby. And inhale, lift up, lift everything up, reach your arms back, yes, and see if you can grab onto your feet. And once you have your feet, then pull your feet and push your feet, yeah? So you're pulling with your hands and you're pushing with your feet. Lift up, balance up to your belly button. Maybe point your toes even. You don't have to hold back. Lift up high. for 17,000, 14, 2, 4, 7, yeah? They mean nothing. And then slowly lower down and just wiggle your hips side to side. And as a transitional pose, come up to Sphinx. And then slide, yes, that would be your right knee up. And take your left hand, slide it behind your right elbow, grab onto your knee, and 1, 2, 3, open up. So hopefully we're not slapping too much of each other. Yes. Rolling into the twist. Take a full breath in, and with your exhale, just sigh it out. You can relax your right arm, right, Lena? Oh, yeah. So notice what you've moved, what you've twisted, what you've worked. All of our tissues do better when it's had some resistance, actually. And then roll back onto your belly. Transition through Sphinx. So slide your left knee up. Maybe you like to hang out here. If you have more time, you can totally hang out here. A nice little hip opener. And then slide your arm behind, your right arm behind your left elbow. Grab onto your knee and open up, letting your left arm kind of twist you open. Coming into the twist here. It might be a different way for you to come into it, but you should be familiar with this twist. And again, take a full inhale, and with your exhale, relax your body. Sigh it out through your mouth. You've worked hard. It's been pretty basic, not so complicated. We get distracted and we forget that our yoga practice can be very basic. But you're not basic. So every day is different. You come with like you had a different dinner last night or different conversations, different part of your cycle, different challenges. And then finish rolling open onto your back here. Hug your knees to your chest. And you can imagine it a little bit like a reset. We're gonna rock back and forth, and we're gonna spin ourselves. So your feet are gonna come towards me. You're gonna turn 180 degrees. And then stretch out into Shavasana. Feel free to cover yourself with a blanket. I mean, if you're not done, you can keep on going. Ah, there it is. Feel the ground hold you. If your eyelids don't cover your eyes, you can use something else. If it's uncomfortable to have your arms next to your body, you can always relax your hands on your belly. Instead of practicing falling asleep, practice being present. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes and your face and your nose. And then stretch your arms over your head on the inhale, reach your body long, and then with your exhale, curl into a ball and roll onto your right hand side, just hugging your knees to your chest. And just feel your internal magic and your amazing potential and your vitality. And then help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to meet at heart center and feel the effect. Imagine you're rooting yourself up towards the stars. And let's close with one Om. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward, together we say, Namaste. And then make some noise. Yeah, 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 yeah. And so much love. Have an amazing Tuesday. If you're sore, come do it again.